Hello there, moin moin ladies and gentlemen, Donspektor here with another review, and today I have something for you sent from our friends at Fosi Audio. Yes, today we are taking a look at one of their DAC combinations, the SK02. And again, disclaimer as usual here, while Fosi Audio has sent this over for review, they had not asked or influenced me in any way to say anything positive or negative, and everything here is exactly how I found it. As usual, quick packaging accessories, that's the box. And you can already see the cardboard is relatively thin, not colored on the inside. It's opening just like that. Protective foam on top, a manual. The device would be in here, and this here would be where accessories are. Of accessories, we get this USB-C to C cable. Don't need that. And one small complaint I already have here. Let me just see if I can get it into the pictures and whole. No, I can't, but barely. So basically my fingers end left and right of the screen. So this is like a meter long of a USB-C to C cable. Like, I think it's best visible like this. It's definitely a bit short for desktop setups. Where you have your desktop a bit under your desk, as the name implies. And maybe you have a standing desk, well, this cable won't cut it. Definitely, I would highly recommend Fosi Audio to increase the length, at least 1.5 meters. 2 might be even better, but at least 1.5. This definitely is too short here. Cable-wise though, this is a nice cable. There's a strain release here at the bottom, and the cable is relatively thick. Granted, the strain release, as you can see, is a bit too sturdy, so it doesn't do a great job, but there is one. And on one end, you get this permanently attached USB-C to A converter. That's also nice to see, so you don't need a C input on your computer. And that's kind of it. One small footnote here again for the manual. This is again nicely layouted. It gives you all of the information you need. Gives you a quick introduction with all of the buttons doing and stuff. So I like to see that. It's definitely very comprehensive here, especially also with the specs right here at the right side. But how is the SK02 actually built? That's the first time we see the device in this video, and I have to tell you again, I don't know how Fosi Audio does it, considering this is like $100. Dang, this is again built like a tank. Like, I really don't know how they do it at these price points. Just for size comparison, this is the DS2, also from Fosi Audio here. Great dongle, again, highly recommended. This was built like a tank while not being too heavy. This one here is built like a tank, and because it's a desktop setup, it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of heavy for its size. So, that means this is actually all around aluminium. It's relatively thick aluminium. The side walls here is, wait, what did I note? Let me quickly go to my measurements here. 1.7 millimeter thick aluminium, so that's pretty good. The top plate even is 2.1 millimeters thick. And this is a, let's say, 3-piece design. This piece of aluminium is bent mostly around here and then finished with a second plate at the back. And then we have the top plate here, which, yeah, I guess I said a bit thicker with small cutouts for LEDs. And then at the bottom plate. So sorry, it's like it's not 3, it's 4 pieces. But it is very well made again. Like, again, the machining is very nice. There's no sharp corners. It feels good in the hand. It looks nice and chic and minimalistic on the desktop. And combined with the button that is, again, aluminium, it feels nice to the hand. Which has like small pressure points here. So if you rotate it a bit, you get a small flip, 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 flip. So it's a digital wheel basically, and that means you can freely spin it around as much as you like. And yeah, I'm not sure if I prefer this or a smooth wheel, maybe the smooth wheel, because that gives you a bit more control of what volume is. But yeah, combined together with the buttons here that are nice and snappy. Again, let me give you a sound sample. Nice and snappy buttons, nice pressure point, and the LEDs were integrated well, and the actual legends here that I read nicely, plus the integration of the ports at the front and the back, which are absolutely rock solid. Like, I have literally zero complaints in overall build here. And again, considering the price for like $100, it's built like a tank. It's very well built. Yeah. Coming to connectivity and power. And yeah, the spec sheet, you maybe saw it before. This has 280 milliwatts at 120 decibels of signal noise ratio and 13 microvolts on noise floor on the 3.5 millimeter, as well as 1100 milliwatts with 116 decibel signal noise ratio and 6 microvolt noise floor on the 4.4. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't have the measuring equipment. Otherwise, I would love to measure this. It does measure pretty well according to Amirs from Audio Science Review. Maybe not class leading, but overall pretty well. And I think the biggest complaint that you probably find here in terms of connectivity and power, I mean, yeah, there's 4.1 ohms of output resistance here on the 3.5 millimeter jack here. So that definitively can color some IEMs that you have, especially the hybrid ones that don't have a flat impedance curve. Yeah, this will probably reduce treble or increase bass. This might be desirable for some, but it's not the best choice for an all-around device. But again, 4.1 ohms is not the most, so it's still, I would say, in the realm that I would say, I do accept this non-zero output impedance. And again, other connectivity, yes, we saw 3.5, 4.4. At the back, there's a USB-C input as well as an optical input and an optical output, respectively aux output. So you could use this as a preamp, and I guess this is doing the job totally fine in terms of connectivity and power. Especially considering the measurements of this for like $100, I think this is doing pretty well and I don't really miss anything. Software. Yeah, unfortunately there is no software with this one, which straight up transitions me to usability. In short, I think this is a absolutely flawless device in terms of usability. With a few small asterisks here. The first one, as I said, is the volume wheel. This is digital volume, and this gives you, I think, like 5% increments or something like that. So that means sometimes with some IEMs where it's relatively picky in terms of how loud you want to hear it, because it has a few peaks, I don't quite manage to find the loudness I want to. Even on low gain, I'm still like, yeah, something between this and that would be nice. So I think I do prefer the actual physical volume where you really can adjust it very nicely, assuming the volume wheel is good enough. And also there's no software, as I said, so it lacks EQ. You can't really EQ on the device. There's definitively some wasted potential here as well in terms of usability. But if you just use the device as is and you just plug an IEM in, you plug a headphone in, or use this, which also doubles as a button, so you can press it like this inside. Again, let me give you a quick sound sample how this sounds like. It is relatively nice and tactile, the button in this one, and it doubles as a play and pause button and a mute button and also an on and off button. So pressing it very long will turn the device on and off. I think just once press is play pause, and I think 3 times or 2 times is mute, if I remember correctly. And that gives you nice usability in the desktop. I would probably put this a bit more forward on my desk, unlike my other setup, so you can always reach your button and play pause or mute when you need it. So that's definitively nice to see overall. And that brings me to subjective sound, and I mean, it's one of those devices. If you would ask me, do I hear the difference between this and this with the right IEM that doesn't require too much power, or the right headphone, I would be like, probably not. It's again, like, it has all of the adjectives I would give in good DAC amp out there. It is weighty, it gets you punch, it gets you width and stage height, it images well in this, it gets you upper air frequencies. There isn't really much that I can talk about negatively or again positive. You can throw all of the adjectives in that people like to describe DAC amps, but it's a neutral source, right? Like, there isn't much I can talk about here. Again, just assuming you're using this with an headphone or with an IEM that has a linear impedance curve. If you go non-linear, the 4 ohms definitively have potential to color your sources. So just be aware of that. And that brings me already to the verdict here, or conclusion. I mean, yeah, for like $100, honestly, this is a great deal. It has enough power for basically all devices. The noise floor is more than low enough for most IEMs I tried. Actually, let's make all of this. I didn't really have one IEM where I was like, oh, I can actually hear noise floor. And also has enough power for even some more demanding headphones. I did even try to plug in the HE6SE version 2, and while I think my desktop setup was actually a bit better in terms of driving this gets plenty loud with it, and I don't have any issues with that. Again, balanced output meaning here. And that combined with the nice usability with the button here and the pretty good measurements, yeah, I will definitively recommend the SK02. It's a very neat device there, and I think considering the price, very fairly priced, especially with the, again, tank-like build that it has. Again, nice job, Fosi Audio. Next time, please give us a longer USB cable, maybe EQ as in software, and I think 0 output impedance. But other than that, Good job, good job. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Questions, recommendations, or criticisms, please leave a comment. Donspektor out.